Overall, fairways are doing pretty good as far as the growing. One thing that is interesting is we have not had rain since Labor Day weekend. I think the Monday of Labor Day was the last day we had rain. So that's been a challenge all in itself. Hopefully we'll be getting some rains here and things should be start to progress a lot better. So one of the things we've done with the golf course, we had to grow in the golf course, the fairways, with the old irrigation system. So that alone was a challenge because it was double row. Then what would happen as they were putting in a bunker, they would have to cut and cap the irrigation lines so that they could put that bunker in there, but yet I could keep my system live. Well, by doing that, there's parts of there's 2 or 3 sprinklers on a hole that aren't getting used now. So now we're having to hand water, run roller bases to do that. So that's been a huge challenge, especially with not having any rain since Labor Day. That's been a huge challenge of everything we've been doing with the irrigation system. A few holes, 17, we were able to grow that one in with the new irrigation system and it was a lot better, so that was nicer. But that's been a huge challenge growing in the fairways. So number one, all the fairway bunkers are shaped and roughed in. They should be getting edged and painted here within the week. Tile going in, drainage getting put in, and then the sand. So we're moving pretty good on number one. Well, hole number 2 now, we just, today Brian Silva was in, so we laid out the most forward tee on 2. Should be a much better playable shot for seniors and ladies, so I think that's gonna be some added value. That tee is gonna get raised 3 feet. It's gonna shift over to the right a little bit, so plenty of visibility to see the green and everything from that tee shot. 3 is gonna be, 3T, or the whole hole is gonna be a big push this week. We're gonna try to shape in the tees. We gotta cut down a lot of the hillside there. One of the things Brian wants to do is he wants to make sure from all the tees you can see the fairway bunker. So we're chasing down the hill a little bit, moving dirt. So this week will be a big, huge push to get that all done so that on his next visit, those are ready for approval. He can then see if he likes the fairway bunker, how it is, and then go from there. So that will be the big push this week. 4 is doing pretty good. We did do some, we went in there and same thing, we're using the old irrigation system on that. That was one of the last fairways we seeded, so that's been a little bit of a struggle. Some shade issues are in there hurting us. We did go in and put another little more seed in some of the thinner areas. So, but again, I think we're confident that we're gonna still have some couple more weeks of growing weather, so we're confident of all that. 5, fairway bunkers are laid in. That's another hole where our irrigation was cut and capped and we lost some sprinkler heads there. But those fairway bunkers are done in place. So that hole, all we have left to do is the tee complexes there, which we'll be getting to here soon. 6 is a big transformation. All the tees are in. We might be putting one more in there yet. Irrigation is getting ready to go in and on that fairway right now. The green complex is really so much better than what it was. Really, really happy about how that is. That was the sod we took from our nursery, and that green's good. We've rolled it, we've mowed it already, so feeling very comfortable where we're at on that hole and how it turned out. 7, tee complex is done. We're getting that sodded up right now. First fairway bunker is put in. We're getting ready to put the sand in that one. Fairway bunkers up by the green. Those are already in play. Irrigation just got finished on that hole. So that's another hole that's gonna be complete. And again, that's one of the holes where the irrigation and the shade issue, most of the shade issue has really hurt us on seeding on that one. That might be a fairway we go in and do some more reseeding. But again, that's why when you hear me talking about tree removal, shade's a big issue. 8's going good, the green's in, pretty happy with that. The new sod's rooting and taking place. We've mowed it, we've rolled it. That's actually one of the better fairways that's coming in. We're still using the old system on that. They will here within the next week be getting the irrigation into there. Tee complex is all done. We're getting the mix in there, getting ready to get those sodded. So that should be completed hopefully within the next week. So again, things are really progressing fast up in that area. Number 9, we haven't really done too much yet. We're getting ready to, we obviously shifted the fairway over, growing that in. We have painted out where some fairway bunkers are gonna go in there. We did that today. And then we still got to do the tee complex up there yet. That has not been done. So number 10 was the first hole we seeded. We went as long as we could before we had the irrigation company come in and put the new irrigation in on that. That is complete. So we have gone in and reseeded just a few areas where they plowed the pipe through. But now with the new irrigation system, hopefully some rain's coming tonight, things are really gonna start popping on that. 11's coming out really, really good. We've got some grow tarps up on the fairway. We took those off last week, got some good fuzz on there. We took the grow tarp, put it over on the left-hand side of the rough to help get that to germinate faster. We did seed all in front of the forward bunkers, fairway bunkers, so that's all growing in. So really happy how that thing's turning out. That was the last fairway we seeded. So that's starting to come up really good now too. Again, I think with some growth here in the next couple weeks, we're really gonna see the transformation of that. The only thing we have left to do on that hole are the tee complexes. 12, one of the things we did on that, we removed the fairway on 12. We did seed that, that's all gonna be rough now. The irrigation is in on that hole. All we're waiting to do on 12 is the tee complexes, which as we're just sort of moving around the golf course, those will get done. 13, not really many changes going on with that hole. Again, we have some shade issues with some of the growing of the fairway. Tee complex has not been done yet. Again, the big push is to get 3 tee complex because that's the most amount of dirt we used. Some of the smaller tee complexes aren't as big of a deal because we're not moving as much dirt, and then it's a lot of sod work. So 14 fairway bunkers are rough shaped in right now. That's another fairway that I lost a lot of irrigation on because of cutting and capping with the bunkers going in. One change that's gonna happen, there were some bunkers that were gonna go in on the right-hand side up near the green. Now it's just gonna be a little bit of mounding. Architect decided to change that. That fairway also has grown in fairly well on most areas, even though we haven't had some irrigation. But again, that's a classic example. That fairway sits in a lot of sunlight, so it's pretty good. The only issue we usually have up there is up on the left-hand side as you start to get in some of those trees and then the oak tree farther up. 15. Same thing, 15 fairway. We still have that old irrigation using on that fairway. One fairway bunker is roughed in. And when I say roughed in, the bulldozer went in there, cut the shape. Brian came in today, he painted lines, whether he wants it a little bit bigger, a little smaller, a little deeper, not, take off some off the top. So those are all the changes that happen when he comes in. 16's been pretty big change. The tee complex has gotten, the tee shifted way over to the right. We did add 5 tees, I think. We are gonna have a most forward tee up on the top left, up on the hillside up there. So I think that'll be a much needed added tee. There's a series of 3 bunkers on the right-hand side that are all shaped in. Drainage is going in on those. So that's another hole that had some significant transformation. Pretty happy with that. Again, because of the tees shifting to the right-hand side on 17, or I'm sorry, at 16T there, we had to pull out our satellite box that controlled all the irrigation on 16. So I have not had any irrigation on 16 from a controllable standpoint. I have to physically go turn those heads on currently to water that. So that's definitely been a challenge. 17, they have all the sod stripped to where all the new tees are gonna go. New irrigation is in on that hole. That hole has grown in nicely with the new irrigation. At the top of the fairway, you can tell where some shade issues are from the trees, especially with the sun being so lower in the sky this time of year. That's where we really get hurt on the shade issues as well. But again, for the most part, that hole's grown in pretty good. So 18, haven't really got to that yet. We do have some of the sod stripped on the tees so that complex can get redone. Like I said, they're just moving around the golf course now with tee complexes.